Hey everyone, welcome back to my latest rally video. Today we'll be showcasing a big zero we tried on a 3.3 billion might player who was in war gear. So the person's war gear was actually pretty good. He had max tempering on some of his pieces as well. No mythic champ, but it is level 60 gear. The only thing he was missing was basically the cups, but you can see his main pieces have some 12, 9 something plus tempering on them. So we're going to be trying to zero this guy. Again, I don't believe we had his initial scout at the time. We just noticed he's been off for quite a while, so we're like, oh, let's go and try and zero this guy. Unfortunately, at the start, we decided not to fill his in prison, but if we had done it at the start, we might have done a little bit better because I believe because of that, Char ends up getting captured, and Char is one of our better rally leads. You'll actually see from the first hit here, spoiler alert, this guy had 215 million troops, so he is pretty much all troop might at this point. Like, I believe his base might's like 300 mils. He's got like 3 billion plus in troops. So anyways, you can see even the first hit, even though this guy is in war gear, Char was still able to do 5 million damage. And keep in mind, this guy has 15 million of each tier 4, so he's not down on backline whatsoever. He's got a 45 million backline. So yes, I think that's insane. I don't know about you guys, but just seeing a 5 million hit on someone who has 215 million troops is crazy. Anyways, by the way, if you guys do want to join FU, we will leave the recruitment officers down in the comments down below. Go check out our guild. We do zeros like this all the time. I have a couple more saved up of big people we've zeroed. Unfortunately, I did miss the full mythic champ guy we zeroed. I just wasn't online and no one recorded it, so don't have that one, but we still have these ones. Unfortunately, it looks like Char actually still hit him for over 5 million on the second hit as well, but was able to get capped. So we're going to go in for a third round here. He's down to 3.1, already down 200 million after 3 rounds of double rallies. We do have XX showing up, and we decided at this point, now it's time for us to fill his infirmaries and go for the zero, because we're thinking this guy probably has a pretty big front line and all that. We're going to run out of leads before we actually zero this guy. So halfway through, at least after the first couple rounds, we started actually filling his infirmaries, or filling his prisons. Sorry, we already filled his infirmaries, but we're filling his prison right now, and we're going for the zero. We also called in XX as our triple partner. Shout out to XX for helping us out. They've been helping us with triples for quite a bit. Keep in mind, our guild, FU, is a single guild. We're just split across 2 different shells, and again, if you join our guild, you can go to either shell at any time, join whatever rallies you want. We also have a third shell, so if we get enough people, we can actually just do self-guild triples all the time and just have 3 shells running all the time. So again, if you guys want to come join us and help us zero these massive players, come do it. By the way, if you're a rally lead, we do need more rally leads because we do a lot of these zeros as well, and sometimes we lose some leaders doing it. So we can't always fill everyone's in prisons all the time, so especially if they happen to be online and migrate with all our leaders, that would suck. So anyway, there is down to 3.032, so down 300 million might at this point. We're still hitting them for quite a bit of damage here. 4 to 5 million per rally from every single rally lead here so far. Geomancy there, we have Space Master. Here comes First Night, which is our first night actually through this whole thing was hitting really hard as well. Unfortunately, like I said, Char got his leader capped right at the start and couldn't do any more. But if Char had been there, he'd been hitting almost very similar to what First Night was hitting, because First Night was doing 6.8. I think Char did like 6.7 or something like that on the first rally. So down under 3 billion might already. Jason and Morgan are coming in, 2 of our other really good leads as well. Down to 2.96. Let's take a look here. There's Jason, not full mythic, he's just missing on that one piece. And then Morgan here, 668 artifact stars on Morgan there. You can see that Morgan only did 3.4, and that actually threw me for a little loop there while I was doing it. Like, why do you only do 3.4? Is he like, he must be an infantry wedge and we're hitting some range now or something like that? But I was like, the might drop should be higher if we're getting into his tier 4. So Again, we're going cab, was only 3.4, so I was like, oh, is he online at this point? At this point, I was kind of getting a little suspicious at this point. I'm like, is he online or not? Or is just because he's in infantry wedge, we're now hitting range? But you would still think the hit would be bigger for might drop, because if we're getting into his range in infantry wedge, that means we're basically taking out most of his infantry. And does he not have an infantry backline? Like, does he have no tier 4? So I was like questioning myself on this one at this point, because we're starting to do different troop types and stuff like that. So if we start sending infantry, we're doing more damage. But if he is an infantry wedge, we should still be hitting his infantry, and his might drop should be higher at this point. But for whatever reason, it wasn't. Obviously, we found out later why, but there was first night going range, I believe, on that one. That did 4.6, so it's really not making any sense. So I was obviously questioning it at this point, but again, we just kept going anyways. So we're still going. He's still dropping might. He's still losing troops. He's not shielding or anything like that. He's not full countering us or anything like that either, so if he is online at this point, he's still taking the losses, so we can still keep rallying him. So it looks like Sir Twins is going to be our next rally lead. First Knight is ported next to him now. Sir Twins, sorry. Did I say First Twins? It's Sir Twins. Going infantry again. Let's see how well we do on this one. Let's take a look and see what the drop was. He's down to 2.8, still in the same war gear. That was a 5 million, so about a 3 million drop on his end, 120. But yeah, you can see from all the might drops, we still have not hit any of his tier 4, which was a little confusing at this point, because even in, like I said, even in infantry wedge, it shouldn't be happening. But we ignored it and just kept going, because he was still dropping quite a bit on each rally, even though, even if he's online, he's still losing quite a bit of troops. First Knight hit him for quite a bit there again, so what did First Knight go on that one? I can't remember. But whatever it was, he dropped quite a bit. Jason's going to be going in again, and we're hoping we finally get the burn pretty soon, because again, we are missing some of our leaders in there before we fill the infirmaries, so we want those back. My leader is currently in his infirmaries, because I sent it there to help out with the filling of the, sorry, not infirmaries, his prison. So here comes our triples. Again, this is much easier to record too. Keep in mind, when I'm recording, I'm trying to catch all the rallies, and if all the rallies aren't timed, I kind of got to guess when the other guilds are actually sending them to put the recorder on, because I prefer not to have like an hour's worth of recording and have to edit it afterwards. I like throwing on the recorder literally right before, so, and it worked out pretty well. But anyways, that's beside the point. If you guys are watching from my guild, make sure all the rallies are timed so I can record easier. That's all I'm asking. Or I can jump between the guilds and see when they're actually going to be sending the rallies. Maybe I should do that. I should probably get on and talk to XX about getting into them, so I can actually just jump into their guild and do some recordings too. So anyways, that's totally off topic. So he's down to 2.6, down, what was it, like 900 million might or something at this point. Still dropping, but again, we still have not hit any tier 4 yet, so it's getting a little confusing. You're like, why are we not hitting tier 4? Like I personally thought he was online at this point, but spoiler alert, he was online. I'm not sure if he was online the whole time, but he was online for part of it, at least, because he did end up swapping his front line, and we did find that out later. But again, he still lost all these troops while he was doing it. So, and he wasn't full countering us. He was actually just letting us full counter him sometimes. At the start he did, and he switched his front line, and then he still allowed us to full counter because we switched what we were going, and we just kept going anyways. So anyways, Comfy's coming in here too. Comfy's also quite strong, one of our strong rally leads there. Taking a look and see the drops. Looks like he countered us on these ones though. So after this, we were like, okay, so he's countering us, and we're trying to figure out what we're sending. But obviously, unfortunately for us, he was online. So it looks like Sir Twins is coming in. Woody is also coming in. First night is just getting some more people. I think they decided to reset and send something different since the changes or the mic drops changed again. So you can see here, it looks like he countered all our rallies there. So unfortunately, yeah, I think it's at this point we realize, like, I think he is actually online, because first off, we shouldn't be getting countered at this point, and secondly, yeah, I think he posted in the in the global chat. That also kind of showed us that he was online, and he was actually pretty cool. He actually ended up releasing all our leaders, which is nice, or I would have been capped for 3 days, because I don't think I had a licensed or a mushroom, so I would have been kind of stuck in there for 3 days. But yeah, so he ended up not migrating. He ended up staying. He ended up sending us all the reports as well. So I do have all the reports, and let's go look over those right now. So you can see here, this was his starting troop comp. He had 300k of each tier 5. Not a lot of tier 5, but almost 15 million of each tier 4. Cav being a little bit lower at 14 mil. Plus he had a huge front line of over 50 million troops each. 58 million tier 2 gladiators, 55 tier 2 sharpshooters and reptilian riders, 215 million troops total. So we'll go over and see what his might is. You can see how low his might actually is, his base might. He had 3.2 billion might in troops. So if we actually zeroed him, he would have ended up like under 400 million might at the end of this. But unfortunately, he was online, or fortunately for him, he was online and was able to actually not get zeroed, because that would have sucked. So actually, let's go over all the reports as well. So let's take a look at the report. So this is the first report we got. This was the first hit from Lil Psycho that went in. Did, what was it, 3.9 million. Again, he started at 215 million troops, and then we'll go over to the next one. This was Little Psycho again. I think Char hit her in between. I'm not sure where's the report for Char, but anyways, so Char did hit in between. I think I'm just missing a report. This was the end ones. Anyways, let's go over here. You can see Little Psycho went in again. This was the second hit after they used the bunny. 3.3 million down to 206. This was Char's second hit, did 5.3 down to 197. Again, Char was hitting quite strong there. Then First Night's first hit that came in at 197 did 2.8 million on that one. Then Jason went in next, 4.2 million. You can see he is an infantry wedge at this point. Again, we thought he was an infantry wedge, so that's why I was really confused why we never got into his tier 4. Obviously, it was because he was online and was switching his front line. That made lots of sense a little bit later. So yeah, you can see Geomancy did 3.9, Space Master did 3.5, down to 183 million. First Night came in and did 4.3 again, still an infantry wedge. Geomancy did 3.9, still an infantry wedge. Sir Twins did 3 million, still an infantry wedge. And, First Night 4.5. And then Jason did 3.2. And then, where was it? Morgan did 1 million. So this is the point where I was getting a little confused. I'm like, how did he do so little? Even, like I said, even the might drop was so small that it should have been a little bit higher. He was at 163 million troops, but it's because he switched to range wedge. It wasn't because, for whatever reason, our cav was now hitting his range because he was infantry wedge, which makes no sense. He would still hit his infantry, but it's because he switched the range wedge, and then he started taking, I guess First Night decided to test him at that point. Didn't do any damage. So First Night also did 1.1, again sent cav into his range wedge. It looks like Drop Your Pants, I think the same thing, but maybe he sent range or something. I can't remember what he sent there. But then, yeah, now he's in range wedge. First Night was sending range at this point, did 2.2. Woody went in next, did 2.9. I think he went, not sure what he went on this one. I can't remember. It was either range or infantry at this point. Did 2.9. Then Sir Twins came in, was an infantry for sure. I think since he's an infantry foul, he did go range. No, sorry, infantry. Same with Sir Twins, did 2.6. Then it was Geomancy coming in, doing 2.5. Then it was First Knight, who went, I think, infantry on this time, and did 3.9 on this one, and range wedge. I believe so. And then I'm sure why do you go range wedge instead of range foul? I don't know, whatever reason. So I guess it was to reduce the damage from the infantry hits we're going to be doing. First Knight came in and did 4 million on that one, and then Jason 3.4, 3.5 from Morgan, 2.5 from Gravio, and let's see, 3.9 from First Knight. He's down to 128 million troops at this point. Still dropping. He's down almost 100 million troops at this point. Chunky Hunky, 2.9, and 3.9 from the First Knight there again. And then he switched the Cav, and this is when we kind of noticed he was switching at this point, because it's like, okay, there's no way that it should have swapped again. Since he's obviously not an infantry wedge for this. So again, he did, where was it? Drop Your Pants did 757, and then Comfy did 1.2, and that was pretty much, actually there was more at the end. Sorry, I have to go all the way back. Sorry, it's for some whatever reason, they're kind of out of order here. So let's just go to the front here. And we'll see the last couple. That was a dog. Anyways, again, First Knight did 1.3. Then it was Sir Twins, 1 million. And the last one came in was Woody, I believe, knocking him down to 116 million troops. So technically, he only lost 99 million troops on there. And obviously Sanctuary saved about 60 million of them. So anyway, so again, he got us pretty good. Was nice enough to give us all our troops back, which was really nice. So at the end we did, or not our troops, our leaders back. So everyone got their leaders back. Everyone went their own ways. We got the reports from all the hits too, which is nice to see, because otherwise we wouldn't have seen any of these. So a shout out to him. By the way, if you guys do want to join FU, we are recruiting. We'll leave the recruitment offers down in the description down below. Go message them online. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.